And we are back every year in January. Pittsburgh Magazine honors its Pittsburgher of the Year. One person deserving of the title and cover image made a difference in our lives in the year just passed. This year, for its 50th anniversary, the Pittsburgh Magazine staff went in a different direction. Instead of honoring just one person, they are honoring 50 of the greatest Pittsburghers of all time. Magazine editor Brian Hyslop is with us now to tell us who made the list for this special issue. First off, Brian, congratulations to you on that anniversary. And we're talking about the 50 greatest Pittsburghers. That to me is, an exclusive list, and it's people who really had a significant impact on this city.
Yeah, it was a really challenging task. We created this list of people that we were going to think of. We brainstormed practically every Pittsburgher we could think of from the whole 200 plus years of Pittsburgh's history.
Oh my goodness.
And then we did some more research thinking like, did we miss people, or what it was? So it was a big process for us.
Were you surprised at some of the names? I mean, you can only have 50. Were you surprised about who was and who was not included?
Yeah, there were definitely a lot of people that top of our head stuff, and then we went and did some research. And there were some really noteworthy Pittsburghers that we thought like these people deserve a place on this list that had not been on before, and we had never recognized in the past. How
did you make the decision to do something different? To instead of choosing one person, let's do 50 of all time.
Well, because it's Pittsburgh Magazine's 50th year, we really wanted to do something special this year, and so. Like you said, this is when we normally would do our Pittsburgher of the Year, so we thought for 50 years we should find 50 people who, if we had started like at the dawn of Pittsburgh's history, who would have been recognized as Pittsburgh Magazine's Pittsburgher of the Year. So these are all 50 people who we think really are wildly deserving. So the challenge was was ranking them, because we thought we could just list a 50 people, but let's go really out on a limb and tell you who we thought was number 1 through 50.
So I know people at home are saying, okay, get to the list already. So we're not going to give away all 50 right now, but we're going to start with the top 3. So we'll start with number 3. Can you share with us who number 3 is?
Yeah, after much debate, that was
Okay.
So we picked him because not only was he probably one of the preeminent industrialists of that era, but he also, after that time of his life was over, spent most of the rest of his career and life giving away all of his money. So his influence is felt here in Pittsburgh, not only with all the things with Carnegie's name on it from museums and libraries, but across the country there are Carnegie libraries, and even overseas. So, and everyone associates Andrew Carnegie very much with Pittsburgh. So we thought this is a good representative of what our city is.
Agreed. Number 2.
August Wilson, the noteworthy playwright. He has 2 Pulitzer Prizes, would be considered a icon in his field, but beyond that, his plays are all set here in Pittsburgh.
They are.
And are so Pittsburgh focused. He has put Pittsburgh on the map as far as playwrights go, and now with Denzel Washington and movies too. So the impact on what is Pittsburgh, August Wilson definitely deserves number 2. Okay,
so if we've already taken out Andrew Carnegie and August Wilson, number 1 has, drum roll,
Fred Rogers.
Of course.
Well, when it came down to it, it was just really hard to argue against Fred Rogers. Even when he's had a documentary come out, Tom Hanks is doing a movie about him. And I think there's just always this yearning for what Fred Rogers stands for. We actually had the documentarian, Morgan Neville, who did the documentary about Mr. Rogers, write the tribute to Mr. Rogers. And it's really a compelling essay that he wrote about how he sees Mr. Rogers as being just ahead of his time, and and really would have had the kind of kindness and compassion that if we're experiencing that today, we might be in a better place.
And Brian, talk about some of the names that are on there. Robert L. Van, I know some people may know, some people may not know. Is one of the people on the list?
Yeah, he is number 9. He was the noteworthy leader of the Pittsburgh Courier for many decades.
Right.
But under his tenure, the Courier became the preeminent African-American newspaper in the entire country.
Right.
And it brought the message of the civil rights struggles to the South, where there weren't African-American newspapers. His paper was carried by people down to the South, and really was a really big major influence. He's the highest ranking journalist on the list. There are quite a few journalists, actually. Pittsburgh has a big history of famous journalist.
Absolutely.
But he is definitely #1.
Very well respected. And you can read that full list in Pittsburgh Magazine, and it's available online now.
Online now, right, and it'll be on newsstands at the beginning of the year.
Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. That's a great list. Of course, you can check it out. As you heard, it's online now and will be on newsstands in just about a week. Still